Welcome back, everyone, to Gemstone Kingdom, the journey where we uncover the hidden stories, legends, and forgotten powers of the world's most extraordinary stones. But today's episode is different because this time, we're not chasing the stones that shine, we're chasing the ones that listen. Across ancient temples, lost civilizations, and royal tombs, there are whispers of gemstones said to grant wishes. Stones that respond to a whisper under the moonlight, stones that have witnessed kings rise, lovers reunite, and travelers find their way home. One of them, the gemstone ranked number one, is so mysterious that it's been called the voice of destiny itself. And today we're going to find out if those stories could be true. From the star-marked sapphires that ancient monks believed could speak to the heavens, to the moonlit stones once offered to goddesses of love. These are not just minerals. They are messengers between the human heart and the unseen. Each one carries a different kind of wish. For peace, for health, for wisdom, for love. Some were buried with pharaohs, others worn by warriors, and some, quietly sitting in modern jewelry boxes, still hold the same energy people have prayed to for thousands of years. If this is your first time here, welcome to Gemstone Kingdom, where every episode takes you deeper into the Earth's memory, and sometimes into your own. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell so you won't miss the next discovery waiting beneath the surface. And if you feel right now that this might be the beginning of something new, leave a comment below saying, "I like this video," so I'll know you're walking this ancient path of wishes with me. Stay until the end, because the gemstone that ranks number one isn't just beautiful. It may already be in your home, quietly waiting for someone brave enough to make a wish. And when you hear its story, you might realize you've been carrying your wish all along. If you're busy now, save this video for later, because what follows isn't just a countdown. It's a journey through legends, science, and something far older than both. These are the top 10 gemstones of wishes. The stones that don't just sparkle, they listen. But if there truly are stones that can hear what the heart whispers, where would you begin to look? Some say the answer lies not in the fire or the earth, but in the light of the moon itself. Number 10, Moonstone, the whisper of the goddess. There are gemstones that reflect light, and there are gemstones that reflect longing. Among all stones said to grant wishes, none holds a legend more haunting than Moonstone, a gem believed to hear the quietest desires of the human heart. In 1912, deep in the forests of Sri Lanka, an archaeologist named Arthur Kent uncovered a small altar carved from white marble. Inside it, sealed for over 1,000 years, was a single shimmering stone, milky, glowing, and impossibly alive under moonlight. Villagers whispered that it was an offering to the goddess who listens. When Arthur held it up to the night sky, he swore the glow inside moved. He didn't know it then, but he had just rediscovered the world's most mysterious wish stone, the Moonstone. Moonstone is a type of feldspar formed deep within the earth where molten minerals slowly cool in thin, alternating layers. These layers scatter light in a phenomenon known as a dulurescence, a soft, silver-blue shimmer that seems to float beneath the surface, like moonlight trapped in stone. To scientists, it's optical physics. To ancient civilizations, it was the breath of the moon itself. In India, Moonstone was once called Chandrakanta, the beloved of the moon. It was said to be born from solidified moonbeams, carrying divine intuition. Priests placed it on the tongues of those making wishes, believing the stone would whisper their hopes directly to the heavens. In Rome, it was worn by lovers who were separated, as legend said the stone would help reunite them under the same moonlight. And in ancient Arabia, women placed moonstones in silver bowls during full moons to bless them with fertility and renewal. Its color varies from translucent white to silvery blue, each shade symbolizing a different kind of wish. White for peace, gold for prosperity, blue for love returned. But the rarest, known as the rainbow moonstone, carries all three, said to awaken destiny itself. Why does Moonstone belong among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it represents the moment between light and darkness, the space where dreams are born. It doesn't shout its power, it listens. It is the stone of quiet intention, where what you feel becomes what you manifest. Even today, Moonstone is used in meditation and energy healing for emotional alignment, helping people channel calm and clarity when speaking their truest wish. Its energy is gentle, yet steady, like the tide it was once believed to command. If this story of a stone that listens to your wishes under moonlight surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you believe the moon can still hear what we hope for? Or have we simply forgotten how to speak to it? And as we continue this journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this video in gemstone groups on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a stone born from moonlight ever surpass diamond? Not in value, but in meaning? Because Moonstone reminds us, sometimes the most powerful magic isn't in what we say, but in what we whisper to the light. Yet while some wishes rise to the sky, others are carved into the bones of the earth, where emperors once sought not love or power, but eternity itself. Number 9. Jade, the breath of longevity. Some gemstones sparkle for attention, but jade, it hums quietly with life itself. For over 7,000 years, this stone has been at the center of human longing, not for wealth, not for power, but for the wish to live forever. In 1968, Chinese archaeologists opened the tomb of a Han Dynasty prince in Hebei province. Inside, they found something no one expected. His entire body encased in armor, stitched together from more than 2,400 pieces of translucent green stone. Each plate was jade, bound with gold wire, meant to preserve his spirit, protect his breath, and grant him eternal life. The legend had been true. Jade wasn't worn for beauty. It was worn for immortality. Jade isn't just one mineral, it's two. Jadeite and nephrite, both formed under crushing pressure at the edges of tectonic plates. Over thousands of years, water rich in silica and metals filters through metamorphic rock, crystallizing into this nearly indestructible gem. Its surface is smooth, cool, and dense, so tough that in ancient China, it symbolized the unbreakable connection between body and soul. From China to Mesoamerica, jade was considered the breath of the earth, a sacred bridge between the living and the eternal. The Maya carved jade masks to accompany their kings in the afterlife. The Chinese emperors believed that when placed on the tongue of the dead, jade absorbed the last breath, carrying their spirits safely to heaven. And in every culture that touched it, the wish was always the same: to live on. Jade's color ranges from milky white to deep imperial green, each hue carrying a different kind of wish. Pale jade for clarity and truth, yellow jade for prosperity, and imperial green, the purest, for longevity and peace of spirit. When held, its natural coolness seems to lower the heartbeat, a sensation that ancient scholars described as drinking the calm of mountains. But why does jade earn its place among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it doesn't grant wishes through magic. It grants them through balance. It represents harmony between man and nature, strength and stillness, breath and eternity. Even today, scientists studying its vibration patterns confirm that jade resonates at a frequency close to the natural rhythm of the human body, literally in tune with life. For thousands of years, people have whispered their wishes into pieces of jade for health, protection, love, and rebirth. And whether through faith or energy, the result is the same: jade endures. If this story of a stone that carries the breath of eternity surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you think eternal life can truly be captured in stone? Or is immortality simply found in how long we're remembered? And as we continue this countdown through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this episode in gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a stone once worn by emperors for eternal life surpass diamond? Not in brilliance, but in legacy. Because jade reminds us, time can erode mountains, but not a wish carved in stone. But to wish for eternity is one thing. To wish for understanding, that is far more dangerous. The next stone was believed to open the heavens and let mortals speak with gods. Number 8. Lapis lazuli, the stone that opens the heavens. Some gemstones glimmer like oceans, but lapis lazuli, it looks like the sky itself, captured in stone. Across 5,000 years of history, it has been the gem of kings, prophets, and dreamers. The stone of those who wish not for power, but for understanding. In 1922, when archaeologist Howard Carter opened the tomb of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, he found something extraordinary. A gold death mask inlaid with a deep blue gem that shimmered even in darkness. Under his lantern, the eyes of the young king seemed alive, filled with cosmic calm. The stone was lapis lazuli, mined from the mountains of Afghanistan more than 3,000 years earlier. The Egyptians called it the stone of heaven. They believed that whoever wore it could speak to the gods. Lapis lazuli is not a single mineral, but a fusion of lazurite, pyrite, and calcite, forged together in the heat of metamorphic rock. That's what gives it its celestial blue hue, flecked with golden sparks like stars scattered across a midnight sky. To ancient scientists, it was simply beauty beyond comprehension. To priests and kings, it was a map to eternity. The world's purest deposits lie in Badakhshan, Afghanistan, a place so remote that miners still follow trails once walked by Bronze Age traders. From there, lapis journeyed through Persia, Babylon, and Egypt, traded as blue gold. It was ground into pigment for the eyes of pharaohs, mixed into paint for Renaissance icons, and crushed into powder for the robes of the Virgin Mary. But beneath its artistry lies something deeper, the wish of humanity to see beyond itself. In ancient Mesopotamia, lapis was placed in temples as an offering to Inanna, goddess of love and wisdom. In Sumerian texts, kings wore it on their chests when making vows of peace, and in Buddhist lore, it's said that lapis lazuli grants clarity of mind, helping the soul see truth without fear. But why does it belong among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it answers the oldest wish of all, the wish to know. Lapis lazuli doesn't promise wealth or immortality or love. It promises something rarer, enlightenment. Modern science reveals that lapis emits subtle electromagnetic frequencies that calm the human nervous system. The same effect monks once described as hearing silence. Its natural pyrite inclusions act like miniature mirrors, scattering light inwards, symbolizing the inward search for meaning. Every civilization that touched this gem believed the same thing. When you hold lapis lazuli and make a wish, the stone doesn't just carry it upward, it translates it, turning emotion into understanding. If this story of a stone that listens to your thoughts surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you believe true wishes are spoken aloud or born in silence? And as we continue our journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this episode in gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could the stone that once adorned pharaohs and angels surpass diamond? Not in price, but in purpose? Because lapis lazuli reminds us, a true wish doesn't rise like fire, it opens like the sky. Number 7, Amazonite, the voice of courage. Some gemstones whisper peace, but Amazonite, it speaks. Its voice is quiet yet unwavering, the sound of the soul remembering who it was before fear began. For centuries, it has been known as the stone of courage and truth, the gem of those who dare to make their deepest wish, to live authentically. In 1866, explorers navigating along the Amazon River basin encountered a tribe of women warriors, fierce, painted, silent. Around their necks glimmered smooth blue-green stones that shimmered like river light under the sun. The warriors called them stones that speak. When asked what that meant, their leader replied, "Because when you hold it, fear has no voice, only truth." That legend gave the stone its name, Amazonite. Amazonite is a variety of microcline feldspar formed in granite-rich deposits under intense pressure and heat. Its striking color, a tranquil blend of turquoise and green, comes from traces of lead and water trapped in its crystal lattice. In geological terms, it's a mineral, but in human history, it's a message. Solidified courage from the depths of the earth. Found today in Brazil, Russia, and Madagascar, Amazonite has always appeared near great rivers or fault lines, the meeting places of motion and calm. Ancient Egyptian artisans carved it into protective amulets, including fragments found inside Tutankhamun's tomb, inscribed with words from the Book of the Dead. May the truth be spoken in my heart. In Mesopotamia, it was ground into talismans believed to keep the mind clear as water. And in Central America, shamans placed it over the throat during rituals to release what must be said. Its energy, people believed, could realign the spirit's current, turning anxiety into direction and silence into intention. That's why Amazonite is still called the stone of honest wishes. It doesn't grant what you ask for. It grants the courage to ask at all. The science echoes the myth. Amazonite's structure filters electromagnetic fields, literally stabilizing energy vibrations. This calming frequency has been linked to emotional clarity, which explains why healers often use it to ease self-doubt and restore confidence. A modern translation of what ancient warriors already knew. Truth is the bravest wish of all. But why does Amazonite belong among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it's not about wishing for the world to change. It's about finding the strength to change yourself. When you hold it, the mind quiets, the heart steadies, and your inner voice becomes unmistakable. If this story of a stone that transforms fear into truth surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you think wishes are heard by the universe? Or do we simply need the courage to hear ourselves? And as we continue this journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this video in gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a stone once worn by warriors of the Amazon surpass diamond? Not in shine, but in strength? Because Amazonite reminds us, the bravest wish is to speak your truth and let the world echo it back. But what if the wish you made wasn't for love or freedom, but to awaken a light hidden inside yourself? The next stone was born where fire meets ice, a trapped aurora waiting to be freed. Number 6, Labradorite, the awakener of hidden light. Some stones shine when you polish them, but Labradorite, it awakens when you move it. At first glance, it's gray and ordinary, but turn it slightly, and a burst of blue, green, and violet fire dances across its surface, like lightning frozen in stone. For centuries, people have believed that this gem doesn't just reflect light, it releases it, awakening the hidden brilliance within whoever holds it. In 1770, a group of missionaries near Paul's Island, Labrador, Canada, discovered strange stones scattered along the frozen shoreline. By day, they looked dull as slate, but when twilight fell, the rocks came alive with shimmering light, glowing like the northern sky. The Inuit elders said the aurora borealis had once been trapped in the cliffs, until a warrior struck them with his spear, freeing the lights into the heavens. But some, they said, remained imprisoned, and those are the stones you see. Those stones were labradorite. Geologically, labradorite is a type of feldspar formed deep within igneous rock as molten magma slowly cools. Its color play, known as labradorescence, happens when light hits layers of crystal at different depths, splitting and reflecting into pure spectral fire. No two pieces are alike. Each carries a unique map of color, like a personal aurora borealis sealed within stone. The best labradorite originates from Canada, Finland, and Madagascar, but its mythology extends far beyond its geological origins. To the Inuit, it was the bridge between worlds. To Scandinavian shamans, it was the stone that wakes the sleeping spirit. Even in modern metaphysics, labradorite is considered the stone of awakening, said to activate intuition, creativity, and unseen potential. But beneath every legend lies one universal wish: to see the light within ourselves. That's why labradorite belongs among the top 10 gemstones of wishes. It's not about asking the universe for miracles. It's about realizing you already carry one. When light passes through labradorite, it bends and scatters, revealing colors that were always there but hidden from view. And that's the essence of every true wish. transformation through perception. The moment you look at something differently, the world changes. In spiritual practice, many wear Labradorite during meditation or creative work. It's believed to open the third eye, connecting thought and imagination, a balance of logic and intuition, fire and calm. Even modern optics confirms its light diffraction patterns are so complex that no synthetic gem has ever fully replicated them. In short, it defies imitation. If this story of a stone that captures the northern lights surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you think enlightenment is something we discover or something we remember? And as we continue this journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this video in gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a stone that carries the light of the aurora surpass diamond? Not in clarity, but in consciousness? Because Labradorite reminds us, sometimes the most powerful wish is simply to remember the light we already have. Every wish burns with hope, but some are made in daylight, not in darkness. The next gem carries the golden breath of the sun, said to turn courage into prosperity. Number 5, Citrine, the stone of golden fortune. Some gemstones sparkle gently, but citrine, it glows with the warmth of a captured sunrise. It's the stone of optimism, energy, and renewal, the ancient symbol of a wish we've carried since humanity began trading under sunlight, the wish for abundance. In 300 BCE, merchants traveling the Silk Road from India to Greece carried a curious yellow stone in small pouches tied to their belts. They called it the light that never fades. Legend said if you held it in your right hand while making a deal, fortune would follow. Not because it made you lucky, but because it made you believe. That gem was citrine, the stone that turns sunlight into confidence. Citrine is a golden variety of quartz, born when silica-rich rock meets heat and iron deep within the earth. Unlike smoky quartz or amethyst, citrine's color comes from the slow infusion of iron molecules during metamorphosis, each atom catching sunlight in crystal form. That's why no two stones ever glow the same. Each is a fragment of sunlight solidified over millions of years. The most famous deposits are found in Brazil, Madagascar, and Spain, often discovered near volcanic regions, as if the earth forged these golden treasures in gratitude for what it had burned away. Ancient Greeks carved citrine into intaglio rings, Egyptian traders placed it on altars to Ra, the sun god, and Roman generals wore it for victory. But its greatest legacy lies in its nickname, the merchant's stone. During the Middle Ages, citrine was believed to guard against deceit and misfortune. Traders would hide it under ledgers or cash boxes, trusting it to keep wealth circulating like sunlight through glass. In China's Qing dynasty, it became a symbol of clarity and prosperity, used by scholars to focus the mind, by nobles to attract favor, and by healers to restore yang energy, the essence of life and motion. But why does citrine earn its place among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it represents manifestation, the power to turn desire into direction. It doesn't grant wealth through magic. It inspires the clarity and positivity that create it. To wish upon citrine is to wish with open eyes, not for miracles, but for motivation. Scientifically, citrine absorbs and refracts light at a wavelength close to the solar spectrum, explaining its natural glow. In gem therapy, it's said to cleanse stagnant energy, lifting the spirit just as dawn lifts darkness. Even holding it in sunlight produces a warmth that feels alive, like the pulse of an idea about to be born. If this story of a stone that transforms sunlight into fortune surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you think prosperity comes from luck or from the fire you feed inside yourself? And as we continue our journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this video with gemstone lovers on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a golden stone forged by sunlight surpass diamond? Not in luxury, but in light? Because citrine reminds us, the brightest wealth isn't gold. It's the courage to let your light shine. But even in prosperity, chaos follows. The ancients knew this well and turned to a purple crystal to guard the mind from madness. Number 4, Amethyst, the stone of clarity and spirit. Some gemstones dazzle the eyes, but amethyst, it clears the mind. For thousands of years, this violet crystal has been called the guardian of clarity, the gem of pure thought, and the vessel of calm. Among all the stones of faith and focus, it carries one of the oldest human wishes: to see the truth beyond illusion. In 1892, French archaeologists excavating the ruins of Delphi, the ancient sanctuary of Apollo, found fragments of a priestess's necklace scattered across the temple floor. Each bead shimmered with deep purple fire. Inscribed in Greek beside the offering was a phrase, "So that the voice may be clear." That stone was amethyst, the crystal believed to connect mortals to divine wisdom. And in every era since, it has been worn by those seeking not power, but clarity. Amethyst is a purple variety of quartz, born where gas-rich lava cools slowly inside volcanic rock. As trace elements of iron and radiation interact over time, the crystal takes on its signature hue, from pale lilac to the deepest royal violet. Each color band marks a shift in pressure or temperature, a geological echo of transformation. Proof that even within chaos, beauty can find order. The best amethyst comes from Brazil, Uruguay, and Zambia, where geodes the size of cathedrals lie hidden underground. Ancient Greeks believed it was solidified wine, frozen drops of Dionysus' tears. But while others drank for pleasure, philosophers drank from the stone. They believed amethyst protected the mind from intoxication, not of alcohol, but of arrogance and desire. Across Egypt, Rome, and Tibet, amethyst adorned crowns, rosaries, and relics of meditation. It was the stone of prophets, bishops, and monks, those who wished not for wealth, but for wisdom. When light passed through its violet core, they said it revealed the quiet voice of God. But why does amethyst earn its place among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it embodies the oldest kind of wish, the wish for peace of mind. It doesn't promise answers. It offers stillness, the silence where truth reveals itself. Modern research has confirmed what the ancients sensed. Amethyst's quartz lattice vibrates at a frequency known to calm the human nervous system, lowering stress and increasing mental focus. It's even used in certain meditation therapies to balance brainwave activity, science's way of measuring serenity. In metaphysical lore, amethyst is the stone of inner light, said to transform confusion into intuition, fear into understanding, and restlessness into clarity. To wish upon amethyst is to whisper, "Show me what matters." If this story of a gem that guards clarity surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you think wisdom is granted by the universe or discovered in silence? And as we continue this journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this episode with gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a humble purple stone once worn by prophets surpass diamond? Not in brilliance, but in truth. Because amethyst reminds us, when the noise fades, the wish that remains is the one worth keeping. Some wishes are meant to rise, carried not by voice but by wind. The next gemstone became the bridge between heaven and earth, a messenger made of sky. Number 3, turquoise, the sky messenger. Some gemstones live in the earth, but turquoise, it lives between the earth and the sky. For over 6,000 years, this blue-green stone has been carried by travelers, warriors, and kings as a living talisman, a reminder that every wish must rise like smoke to be heard by the heavens. In 1939, archaeologists excavating the ancient city of Cholula, Mexico, uncovered a mosaic mass buried beneath layers of volcanic ash. Its eyes were bright blue, made from hundreds of tiny stones, each cut and polished by hand. When the mask was lifted to the light, its surface shimmered like water meeting the sky. The inscription below read, "So the gods will know my face." That face was inlaid with turquoise, the stone that carries prayers on the wind. Turquoise forms when copper-rich water seeps through rock over thousands of years, crystallizing into vivid blue-green veins. Every piece is unique. No two patterns ever repeat. A cosmic fingerprint created by the slow breath of rain and stone. It thrives in arid places, Iran, Egypt, the American Southwest, and Tibet, where life itself is a conversation between heat and air. The ancient Persians called it piruzeh, meaning victory, and set it into their crowns to protect rulers from misfortune. In Egypt, it adorned the jewelry of queens, the earliest example being a turquoise bracelet found on the mummified arm of Queen Czar, dating back more than 5,000 years. And among the Native American tribes of the Southwest, it became the stone of the sky path. They believed turquoise formed where rain met the dust, a gift from the thunder spirits. Hunters and travelers carried it for protection, believing that if the stone turned pale, danger was near. But turquoise's power wasn't just defense, it was communication. It symbolized the wish to be heard, to bridge the seen and the unseen. That's why shamans used it in rituals to call rain, and why it was placed in the mouths of the dead, to help their souls speak to the heavens. Why does turquoise belong among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it carries humanity's oldest prayer. May I be protected, may I be remembered. It doesn't promise miracles. It offers connection between voice and wind, human and divine. Modern science finds turquoise naturally stabilizes energy through its copper content, a conductor that literally carries electrical signals. To ancient eyes, that shimmer wasn't chemistry. It was life answering back. If this story of a stone that bridges heaven and earth surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you believe wishes must be spoken aloud? Or does the sky already know what's in your heart? And as we climb higher through the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this episode in gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a desert-born stone that carried prayers for millennia surpass diamond? Not in value, but in voice. Because turquoise reminds us every true wish is a message written in air, and the sky always listens. And yet, for all the riches, wisdom, and power the world can grant, there is one wish every soul still whispers in the dark, the wish to love and be loved. Number 2, rose quartz, the stone of love's wish. Some gemstones glitter with desire, but rose quartz, it glows with gentleness. This soft pink crystal has been called the heart of the earth, a stone that carries the oldest wish of all, the wish to love and to be loved in return. In 1904, during an excavation in Ephesus, Turkey, archaeologists uncovered a sealed marble jar in the ruins of an ancient temple of Aphrodite. Inside, wrapped in silk that had turned to dust, lay a handful of pale pink crystals. On the jar was carved one simple sentence, "So the heart will be calm again." Those crystals were rose quartz, and their story, like love itself, refuses to fade. Rose quartz forms deep within pegmatite veins, where silica and trace titanium merge under immense pressure. Unlike transparent gemstones, rose quartz stays cloudy, a phenomenon scientists attribute to microscopic mineral fibers scattering light. To ancient mystics, that misty glow was proof that the stone breathed compassion. It appears across continents and millennia, in Egyptian tombs, Greek temples, Roman villas, and Chinese altars. In Egypt, women ground it into powder to preserve youth, believing it absorbed sorrow and restored beauty through forgiveness. In Greece, it was said to be born from the tears of Aphrodite herself, shed when she tried to save her mortal lover Adonis. Where her tears and his blood met, the earth blushed, and from that union, rose quartz was born. In Rome, newlyweds were gifted the stone as a wish for harmony. In China, it was used in rituals of reconciliation. When lovers quarreled, a piece of rose quartz would be placed between them until peace returned. And in modern crystal healing, it remains the stone of unconditional love, said to open the heart chakra, calm anxiety, and rekindle trust. But why does rose quartz belong among the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it answers the most human wish, not to be alone. It doesn't create love through magic. It reminds us to love, to soften, to forgive, to try again. When light passes through rose quartz, it scatters softly, never sharply, a reflection of what it teaches, that real strength is tenderness, and that healing is the quiet echo of hope. In laboratories, its unique lattice structure has been shown to stabilize electromagnetic energy, creating measurable fields of calm. To the heartbroken, that's not science. That's grace in crystal form. If this story of a stone that turns heartbreak into healing surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you believe love is something we find or something we remember? And as we near the final gemstone in the top 10 gemstones of wishes, share this video in gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could a stone born from tears and forgiveness surpass diamond? Not in sparkle, but in soul? Because rose quartz reminds us, love isn't granted by the universe. It's wished into being, one heart at a time. But even love is just one flame in the greater fire of existence. Among all wish-bearing stones, one has stood above the rest, said to answer not to man, but to the universe itself. This is the star sapphire. Number 1. Star sapphire. The stone that answers the heavens. Some gemstones shine when light touches them. But star sapphire, it shines when destiny does. Among all the wish-bearing stones known to humankind, none has carried more legends, prayers, or whispered hopes than this one, the gem believed to speak with the sky itself. In 1934, deep in the mines of Mogok, Myanmar, a young miner unearthed a sapphire the size of a dove's egg. Under sunlight, a faint glow crossed its surface. Not random, but precise. 6 perfect rays forming a star. The elder miners knelt in silence. They said the heavens had left a message inside the stone, a sign that someone's wish had been heard. That gem would later become one of the most legendary star sapphires in the world, a piece of the sky crystallized. Star sapphires are a rare variety of corundum, the same mineral family as rubies. Their star-like glow, known as asterism, appears when light reflects off needle-thin inclusions of rutile, perfectly aligned within the crystal. When cut into cabochons, these fibers focus light into a radiant star that seems to hover above the gem's surface, as if the cosmos itself had chosen to reveal its geometry through stone. For thousands of years, this phenomenon has been seen not as science, but as communication. In ancient Sri Lanka, monks believed that meditating with a star sapphire aligned one's spirit with the universe, allowing prayers to reach the heavens without words. In Persia, kings wore them as talismans of divine favor, calling them stones of the celestial eye. In medieval Europe, travelers carried them for protection, trusting that the star would light their path even when the sun was gone. The star's 6 rays symbolized faith, hope, and destiny, each pair crossing to represent heaven's answer to human longing. And in some traditions, those who gazed into a star sapphire while making a wish under starlight were told, "The universe will remember your face." But why does star sapphire stand at the top of the top 10 gemstones of wishes? Because it doesn't just hold light, it orders it. It is the gemstone of answered prayers, the one that turns chaos into constellation, emotion into clarity. It reminds us that every wish sent upward eventually finds its reflection looking back down. Even in modern gemology, its alignment is a wonder of nature, an atomic pattern so precise it defies replication. Scientists may explain its rays through optics, but mystics see something far deeper, a meeting point between geometry and grace. Star sapphires are found in Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Madagascar, and Australia. But no matter their origin, the feeling they inspire is universal. Humility before beauty, hope before silence. To hold one is to hold proof that order exists, that light always finds a path through darkness. If this story of a gem that carries the voice of the heavens surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you believe that the universe truly listens, or that our wishes simply echo until we become them? And as this journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes comes to its close, share this video with gemstone communities on Facebook or Reddit and ask, in 2026, could the gem that reflects the stars themselves surpass diamond? Not in brilliance, but in destiny. Because star sapphire reminds us, when the night is darkest, the universe still listens, and sometimes it answers through stone. And that brings our journey through the top 10 gemstones of wishes to its end. From moonlight to starlight, from the first whisper of love to the echo of eternity, each stone reminded us that every wish carries a story, and every story begins with belief. If you enjoyed this journey through myth, history, and light, leave a like. It truly helps me keep this channel alive and burning bright. And if this is your first time here, subscribe to Gemstone Kingdom so you won't miss what comes next. Because in the next episode, we travel deeper, beyond wishes, into the stones that protect the soul. Gemstones born from storm, shadow, and mystery. The ones the ancients feared to touch, yet trusted with their lives. Thank you for watching, for listening, and for keeping the fire of curiosity alive. Until next time, may your wishes find their way to the light, and may the next stone you hold remind you, the earth is still speaking if you know how to listen. Diamond and Galaxy.